record-shattering sellout crowd of 19,819 at the Checker Dome. It was a night when Ric Flair kept the World Heavyweight Championship by beating Dusty Rhodes. It was a night when Dick the Bruiser became the new Missouri State King by topping Ken Patera. It was a night when the feud between David Von Erich and Harley Race exploded anew. It was a night when Pat O'Connor hung up his tights after knocking off Bob Sweetan. But most of all, it was a night to honor retiring promoter Sam Muchnick.
I direct your attention to the south end of the Checker Dome, because coming down that aisle in a second will be the man we all want to thank tonight, the one and only promoter Sam Muchnick.
We'll be back with more of the salute to Sam Muchnick in a moment.
Promoter, but he is what Pete Rozelle is to the NFL, or Bowie Kuhn was or is to the baseball. He is truly number one.
KPLR TV.
On behalf of KPLR TV, our chairman of the board, Harold Koppler, and our president, Ted Koppler, we'd like to present Sam with this present. Why don't you just rip a little off of it? What we have here is a VHS television tape recorder so that Sam can record his own programs, and we're going to present Sam with a copy of this whole presentation afterwards so he can remember this moment and play it back in living color as many times as you want. Thank you, Sam.
One of the real surprises for Sam and the huge crowd was the return of former wrestling at the Chase announcer and St. Louis native Joe Garagiola. Later, Sam was greeted by his family along with many other friends at a special reception in the Dome Club, and still more presentations were coming.
So here's Sergeant Ken Gable.
Yeah, we'd like to give Sam this nightstick as a token of our appreciation. It's a little inscription that says, "Good luck, Sam, from the men in blue who work at the matches, January 1st, 1982.
Thank you. I've got to tell you, there is no other building in the country that could have helped us put on something like we did tonight other than the Checker Dome. And Charlie and Jerry, you should get up here and take a few bows. Charlie Mancuso, the manager, and Jerry Couch, his assistant. Come on up here.
The only thing I can say is that we have been here, this is the beginning of our 5th year since the Checker Dome has been in existence, changed name, and never have we dealt with anyone that was more competent, more professional, knew anything more about what they're doing than Sam Muchnick. It's been such an honor, such a pleasure working with him. We've learned more from Sam probably than we both did combined in our 8 years of college. And tonight is Sam Muchnick night. That's what the sign says, and I think that's all we can say is God bless you, Sam, and we wish the best to you.
Thank you very much.
Joe Garagiola, who came in special from Florida by way of Dallas to get here, and he's on his way to Arizona tomorrow.
Well, I don't have any ad-libs prepared, so, and I know you want to sit down and visit with everybody, and I'm just happy to be here. Sam, what can I say? I don't want to get maudlin about it. I remember at the Chase when we had the thing, Rip Hawk was my hero, and he would chase us around. I'll never forget the first night that you threw, he had a wrestler throw one at me. and we had a lot of fun doing that, and it was a real thrill to be a part of this. I'm genuinely happy that I'm here because you're such a good guy.
Kaliski's over there. Why don't he come up? Because I would... the reason I'd like to introduce him is, if a Brillo pad could talk, here's what it would sound like. Now, you football fans, I'm sure you're all footballed out, but if you ever wanted a blueprint for a blocked kick...
Take it easy.
This room's not big enough for both of us.
Joe, first of all...
Isn't that a beautiful voice, huh?
Joe, first of all, sarcasm is a very low form of wit.
I know, but you only came half equipped, so how did you know?
I'd like to ask one
Would you
question.
get your arm off me?
Stop giggling. First of all, I'd like to say this. Does anybody know what is black and blue and doesn't breathe?
Yes.
The first one that tells a Polish joke.
Oh.
Joe,
You guys get a pope and you go bonkers, don't you, huh? Sam had the original franchise. He didn't live up to it. And we had Italian popes for years. You guys get one guy in there and you're going to run the world, right?
Joe, the Pope, His Holiness is Catholic. Will you move on?
I'm falling in love with you.
I'd like to say something.
How come I
may.
can see through you?
Superstar. Joe earlier this evening was having his picture taken
I can't
with
get my
a
arm
lot of the
around you.
guests, and he was charging him $5 a copy. That shows he's really a class guy.
So New Year's night, 1982 belonged to Sam Muchnick, and he had expressed his sincere feelings earlier in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a surprise, and I really mean that sincerely. I didn't know all these people would be here, and I think Larry and Mancuso and a few others got together and made this evening so great. It's wonderful to be able to go out when you say you had a sellout. I had many a crowd of 1,900 and 2,000 people. St. Louis has been good to me, and the only reason I was successful is because of the millions of fans in St. Louis and around the world that came to the matches. I've been successful because I had the finest wrestlers that anybody could procure for this area, for St. Louis, and I owe it all to you. A promoter cannot do well unless he gets the people in the building or if he gets the wrestlers. I know you want to see the next two matches. I'm going to make this short. Thank you, St. Louis.
I've never seen anything like this on the
recording?
Ladies and gentlemen, testing, testing. Testing, there we go. Okay, everybody in this building knows that tonight is a very special night for wrestling in St. Louis and around the world. It's all because of one man. We all know that in our hearts. That's Sam Muchnick. Now we're going to be bringing Sam down the aisle from the south side very shortly. He knows he's going to come in the ring, and he thinks he's coming in here to make a talk. We've got a few surprises for him. Believe me, we have a few surprises for you, too. So here is your chance. Here is your chance after 36 years of promotion to say thank you to the man who's provided all the action on Wrestling at the Chase, all the action here at the Checkerdome and Kiel Auditorium. This is your chance and our chance. I direct your attention to the south end of the Checkerdome, because coming down that aisle in a second will be the man we all want to thank tonight, the one and only promoter Sam Muchnick. Sam thinks he's here to make a speech. You're going to have to be patient, Sam, and bear with us. First of all, from all the many regular wrestling fans that we have here in St. Louis, they've made a special plaque for you, and it says the very basic message: a special thank you to Sam Muchnick for all the years of excitement, and the names are on there of many of the people who have season reservations for our wrestling and who have supported you for years. This, from the fans, to Sam. Okay, we have a few people in this building who want to pay their respects to Sam here this evening. We're going to introduce them, bring them through. A few will have presentations. First of all, I want to bring to the ring my partner on Wrestling at the Chase, and a gentleman who did an awful lot of work to help us tonight. Do you welcome Mickey Garagiola? And next, the sports editor of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, a fine gentleman and a longtime friend of Sam Muchnick, Mr. Bob Bragg. He'll be making his way down the aisle. Mr. Bob Bragg coming down the aisle now. There's Mr. Bragg. And of course, if we have Bob Bragg from the Post-Dispatch, we better have his competitor, the bench warmer, the executive sports editor of the St. Louis Globe Democrat, Mr. Bob Burns. And now, representing the city of St. Louis and the mayor's office, the former manager of Kiel Auditorium and the executive director of the Cervantes Convention Center, Mr. Joe Filoni.
Sam, in behalf of the city of St. Louis and Mayor Vincent C. Shamel Jr., we want to give you this proclamation. And today was Sam Muchnick's day. Today was Sam Muchnick's day. And we're all here to congratulate you. The mayor sends his regrets he couldn't be here. He had to be out of town. But I want you to know, Sam, that we all love you, and we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Mr. Joe Filoni. Next gentleman who'd like to pay his respects to Sam is a builder of many great championship baseball teams. He also helped smooth the waters for the football Cardinals. He's on his way to Montreal, but he's here tonight to honor Sam, Mr. Bing Devine. And yet still another presentation for Sam. This gentleman started out working in the baseball Cardinal office, but he's gone a long way. Would you welcome Senator Jim Murphy?
It's really an honor and a pleasure for me to be here this evening to present to you, Sam, on behalf of the governor of the state of Missouri and of the Senate of the state of Missouri, a proclamation and appreciation for all you've done for the people of the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. God bless your retirement, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And let's not forget the House of Representatives from the state of Missouri, Representative Tom Villa.
Mr. Muchnick, congratulations. Thank you. On behalf of the Missouri House of Representatives and the 162 other members, we certainly pause in our deliberations to praise Sam Muchnick for being an outstanding gentleman and a great Missourian. Thank you.
Good luck to you. Congratulations. My father says hello, too.
Thank you, Tom. Another gentleman here to wish Sam well and give him his best tonight from Channel 5 Sports, KSDK TV, Ron Jacober. who showed up. By golly, there's the sports director from Channel 5, Jay Randolph. And it wouldn't be complete if we didn't have our good friend, the host of Newsbeat on Channel 5, Mr. John Obel. And who else but from the St. Louis Senate, I'll say it, Roscoe. You all know him. He sells ribs. Roscoe McCrary. And from the St. Louis Argus, another good friend of Sam's. He's got millions of them. Morris Henderson. And making a special presentation for the Harlem Globetrotters, who Sam Muchnick has brought to us for many years, is the manager of the Checker Dome and a guy who's been absolutely invaluable going into this event this evening, Charlie Mancuso.
Sam, it's my honor on behalf of the Checker Dome and the Harlem Globetrotters to make this award to you, this special plaque. It's a souvenir poster laminated with the inscription on the bottom of the poster saying, "To Sam Muchnick, January 1, 1982. Your world-famous jump shot will now replace your world-renowned hammerlock." Ladies and gentlemen, in 1929, Sam Muchnick sat in this building with Jack Dempsey and, pondering this new facility, wondered if ever it would be filled for a wrestling match. What a way to go out. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Muchnick.
Thanks, Charlie. But Charlie mentioned if this building would ever be filled. Let me tell you something about tonight. There were thousands of people turned away. It's a record crowd, a complete sellout of almost 20,000 people, so thank you. Next to come up and give his best to Sam Muchnick is the president of the St. Louis Steamers. I think all of us have cheered for them. Here's Ben Kerner.
Not president, vice president.
I need you.
No, you are.
Sam just said to Ben Kerner, "You're the greatest promoter in St. Louis." And Ben Kerner said to Sam, "No, you are." So we'll let him fight it out later. Also here, coming in special from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the former American Wrestling Association heavyweight champion, one of the all-time greats, Vern Gagne. And representing the National Wrestling Alliance, of which Sam was president for 21 years, is a former NWA president and the promoter in Kansas City, Mr. Bob Geigel.
Hold that for me, will you, please?
Oh, you can do it, Bob. Go ahead.
The National Wrestling Alliance, in gratitude for his 4 decades of dedication to the growth and perpetuation of pro wrestling, proclaims Sam Muchnick World Champion Promoter. He blended the past to the present with dignity. He earned the respect among his peers with honesty. He created friendships forever with loyalty. Congratulations, Sam Muchnick.
Sam's going to need Dick the Bruiser to carry out all the hardware tonight. Also here from Minneapolis, one of the finest and most innovative promoters ever, Mr. Wally Carbo. And still another good friend in the promotion business. He's been in it about as long as Sam has, from Toronto, Canada. Real good friend, fine gentleman, Frank Tunney. And of course, you know there are a lot of wrestling publications on the market. And representing them from GC London Publishing House in New York, Mr. Bill Apter. Go ahead, shake his hand. Okay.
Sam, on behalf of your good friends Stanley Weston and the entire staff of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, we'd like to present you with this Lifetime Service to Wrestling Award for 36 years of promotional excellence. Sam?
If the Blues need any help in the rough going, Sam Muchnick might be able to provide some for this guy. The voice of the Blues and the world's greatest hockey announcer, Dan Kelly. And from KMOX TV, Channel 4, he does sports, he does weather, he does it all. Good friend of Sam's, Jim Boland. Some of you may not know this next gentleman unless you got a speeding ticket, but he's one of the finest policemen ever to pin on a badge. A great friend of Sam's, a good help tonight. Oh, come on, he's nicer than Patera. Captain Eddie Moran. And with a very special presentation, and I guess it's fitting because Wrestling at the Chase has been on KPLR TV for 23 years. Here is the Vice President and General Manager of KPLR TV, Channel 11, Mr. Hal Prater. That took dedication to carry that because it's heavy.
I've been working with Sam now for about 8 years, and I learned very early that Sam was #1 in wrestling in St. Louis. Took me a few more months to learn that Sam is not only #1 in St. Louis, not only #1 in the United States, but Sam is really #1 in wrestling in the whole world. As Sam, as head of the the National Wrestling Alliance, played a very large factor in the health of the whole industry. Not only is he St. Louis's promoter, but he is what Pete Rozelle is to the NFL, or Bowie Kuhn was or is to baseball. He is truly #1. On behalf of KPLR TV, our chairman of the board, Harold Koppler, and our president, Ted Koppler, we'd like to present Sam with this present. Why don't you just rip a little off of it? What we have here is a VHS television tape recorder so that Sam can record his own programs, and we're going to present Sam with a copy of this whole presentation afterwards so he can remember this moment and play it back in living color as many times as you want. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Hal Prater. Don't give up yet, there's more. Sam Muchnick's lost so much money at the racetracks betting on his room number at his office that it's only fitting that Fairmount Park should be represented by Mr. Jack Weaver.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ogden Corporation, I would like to pay tribute to the world's greatest wrestling promoter and the world's worst handicapper, Sam Muchnick.
Now, you know, in the history of Wrestling at the Chase, there have only been 5 of us lucky enough to be at the microphone. One, Don Cunningham, has passed away. One preceded me, and I had the honor of working with this fine gentleman, formerly an outstanding professional wrestler, real good friend. He's now in Indianapolis, came in special for tonight, Mr. Sam Menaker. And of course, preceding Sam Menaker was the first man that I ever worked with, a true professional and a really fine friend. One of the longtime St. Louis favorites. Would you welcome back George Abel?
Sam, congratulations.
Watch yourself, George. Watch yourself, George. George, there you go. Is he ready? Huh? We're ready. Bring it. Of course, We also want to introduce someone who's here in the audience tonight, came in special from Washington, D.C., good friend of promoter Sam Muchnick. He's seated in parquet number 11. From Illinois, the Honorable Melvin Price. Mr. Price, you stand up and wave. Appreciate you coming all the way from Washington to be here with Sam tonight. I know there was one other guy on Wrestling at the Chase. He made famous wall-to-wall wrestling. He went on to a few other things like the Today Show, the World Series, NBC television, baseball. Of course, you know, it wasn't too long ago, a few years back, he used to sneak into this building through that door down at the south end. Tonight, we're bringing him in as a special guest, and I think you want to welcome St. Louis's own Joe Garagiola. Say a few words, Joe.
I'm happy to be here on this great night, and what a wonderful thing you're doing for Sam. Thank you, St. Louis, for being so nice to him. Thank you for being so nice to me. Thank you.
There are a lot of other friends here who would like to honor Sam. We simply don't have time to get them all through the ring. And I know they all pay their respects to him. So let's turn over the microphone to the man who brings all of these different people together, all walks of life, our friend, Sam Muchnick.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a surprise, and I really mean that sincerely. I didn't know all these people would be here, and I think Larry and Mancuso and a few others got together and made this evening so great. It's wonderful to be able to go out when you say you had a sellout. I had many a crowd of 1,900 and 2,000 people. St. Louis has been good to me, and the only reason I was successful is because of the millions of fans in St. Louis and around the world that came to the matches. I've been successful because I had the finest wrestlers that anybody could procure for this area, for St. Louis, and I owe it all to you. A promoter cannot do well unless he gets the people in the building or if he gets the wrestlers. I know you want to see the next two matches, so I'm going to make this short. Thank you, St. Louis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Muchnick. The main event will be out in just a few moments. Sam just wouldn't turn. Damn it. Was it okay? Okay? Oh, hey, thank you guys. Jeez.
Ours is a red one.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll use them both. 11:30 tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll tear it all apart.
All right. I think we're in some good
I thought Al was looking at hernia. He wouldn't let that thing down in the back. You got to set that thing down. I told him, it's going to be another 10 minutes till you're out here. You're going to die.
Hey, Rod, hit the stop button. I forgot.
To make to Sam Muchnick. So if we could get some of your attention up here by the podium and maybe some of the people would move up, we could get Sam up here one more time. Look at him rush up. Come on, Brown. Get somebody up here. Get some people up here. We need some folks up around the podium here. We'd like to give a few more gifts to Sam Muchnick, and we'd appreciate it if we could gather as many people as possible around the podium. Let me hold it.
Yeah.
I'll hold it.
Especially if you're going to use
This does work this way.
Okay.
If we can get Sam up here. Somebody send Sam Muchnick. Hey, Harley, would you send Sam up here? We need him up here. We got more applause tonight than anybody I've ever seen. There are a few presentations that people wanted to make to Sam more or less privately this evening. But before we do that, we'd like to introduce a few people in the room. We didn't do it in the building because we didn't want to call attention to 20,000 people to all of Sam's family in case they didn't like how a match turned out or something. So somewhere in this room is Sam's one son, Dr. Richard Muchnick. Dick? Dick Muchnick? Where's Dan? Dan Muchnick and Julie, his wife. Dan, where you at? Come on, Julie. Come on up here, Julie. Dan, where you at? There he is. And Kathy Muchnick, Sam's daughter. And also in the room this evening, we have Sam's brothers, Harry and Simon. Stand up, take a bow. Harry and Simon Muchnick. Okay, let's see, who do we need? Where's Oscar Rutger? Come on up, Oscar. Oscar Rutger is representing Rawlings Sporting Goods tonight. He's already made a little presentation to Sam. He's always thought that Sam should speak softly and carry a big stick. So the Adirondack Bat Company made this special big stick, Sam Muchnick personal model. And Oscar, you can explain all the details on it.
Well, Sam being associated with the wrestling promotion, actually this doesn't have too much to do with it. But over the many years, I mean, you've been the big stick of the Wrestling Alliance. You've been the big stick of the promotion here in St. Louis over the years. So Frank Toy and I thought it'd be a nice thing to present to you the Big Stick Award from the Rawlings Company. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say something to my friend Oscar Rutger. Years ago, when I was a young sports writer, a lot of times I sat on the first base side of the ballpark. And there was a young pitcher warming up. That was on a team that Babe Ruth was on, Lou Gehrig. He never got in the ball game because in those days they didn't have relief pitchers. The pitchers finished 9 innings. And then occasionally a relief pitcher got in, and Oscar Rutger was the top relief pitcher of the New York Yankees.
Where's Sergeant Ken Gable? Sergeant Gable? Ken? You know that Sam's been very close to the police department over the years, and the guys who work for us down Kiel Auditorium and help us out the Checker Dome with the security for the wrestlers to and from the ring and also around the dressing rooms thought so much of Sam, they wanted to make a little presentation for him too. So here's Sergeant Ken Gable.
Yeah, we'd like to give Sam this nightstick as a token of our appreciation. It's a little inscription that says, "Good luck, Sam, from the men in blue who work at the matches, January 1st, 1982.
Thank you. We got a club called the 1, 2, 3 Club, and the guys get out of line once in a while. I'm going to take that every meeting. If they get out of line, I'll use it.
I'd be careful talking about the 1, 2, 3 Club because they're still to come. Don't, Bob Victor, you listening to what he's saying about you, boy? You listening? Got that written down?
Now you don't get it, Sam.
You know, Sam spends a lot of Fridays over at English's Tavern in Belleville, Illinois, and there's a crowd of guys over there, and they thought a little bit of Sam, too, and they had a special presentation for Sam Muchnick. So, Bob McGlynn, would you do the honors? Bob McGlynn, representing the folks from Jack English's.
Sam, one of the greatest guys that ever lived. And I really hate to see you retire because I'm afraid I'm out of a job now. Just when I was coming into my own, I'm going to have to leave. But Sam, on behalf of your friends from Belleville, that great German community where we Irish all moved, I'd like to present you with a present. This is from Jim Bolin and from Tom McMahon, who runs all your bets for you out at the racetrack, and from Jack English himself, and last of all, from myself. Sam, you are really a wonderful gentleman, and we all love you.
Thank you. I want to thank Bob, and I want to remind all you people that Muhammad Ali retired 4 times and came back. So I don't know. We had a big sellout tonight, so... But I won't be back, but I'll be back and rooting for my followers, the people that are taking over the promotion, and hope that they are successful. And with me helping them occasionally, I know they will be. And I like, I don't know if Larry had this in mind, but one of the great guys sometimes he's a little on the stupid side, but he's a great wrestler, and I want to introduce Pat O'Connor.
He beat me to the punch. Pat, say a few words.
Double wrist lock on him.
No, I don't have to wrestle Sam for anything. He's always come through for me in all those years that I've known him. When I came over here from New Zealand, you know, I'm a transplanted Irishman. I was first transplanted into New Zealand, then over to here. And Sam and a very, very good friend here, Wally Carbo from Minneapolis, helped me greatly. And Sam was in my corner over a good number of years. When I became champion here in 1959 in St. Louis, I adopted the city as my town, and it has just been great to me and great for me. And without Sam, you know, I wouldn't have been in the position that I've been today. I've gone from wrestling to the matchmaking part of it. And Sam, you got to stay in my corner. I need you. I need that help. I need those guidelines. I need those things for you to say, hey, you're stepping out of line, just get back in the air, and I'll do it. And I know with these words and your energy and your guidance that St. Louis will still remain the capital of the wrestling world.
Very good. Bob, I'll give you a picture on three. Don't smile, though.
Pat, one this way, please.
Oh, Pat. Okay, Pat.
Who's over there?
John, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Pat. Well, that takes care of the Irish for the night. Thank God. There's two people I want to bring up here, and believe me, we couldn't have done any of this without them. They're always hidden in the background. Nobody wants to say thanks. Where's Charlie Mancuso and where is Jerry Couch? Charlie, Jerry, I want you up here. Charlie? Somebody yell at him. Get him up here. Charlie Mancuso and Jerry Couch. I know you're in the room. I see. Here comes Charlie. Where's Jerry? Come on, Jerry. You can't hide. Jerry's been here all day. She's been working so hard. And before the card, we had some envelopes to take down, and I was trying to hide from Sam, so he didn't know what we had in mind. I tried to run in Jerry's room, and she was changing clothes. That was a little rough. Here are two people. Everything I asked them, every request that we had, any help we needed, they were there just like that. I've got to tell you, there is no other building in the country that could have helped us put on something like we did tonight other than the Checker Dome. And Charlie and Jerry, you should get up here and take a few bows. Charlie Mancuso, the manager, and Jerry Couch's assistant. Come on up here.
There is no other promoter in the country that could have put together a card that he did like tonight other than Sam Muchnick. We had originally planned to have a little special presentation for our friend Joe Garagiola. My uncle is groundskeeper of the Omaha Rosenblatt Stadium, where the College World Series has been for 26 years. And this past College World Series, he presented him with a feast in the third base dugout of some salsiccia. And we had hoped to bring some Italian salsiccia down from Omaha to present to Joe tonight, but we didn't happen to have a chance to work it out. But that's a sidelight.
Gary?
The only thing I can say is that we have been here, this is the beginning of our 5th year since the Checker Dome has been in existence, changed name, and never have we dealt with anyone that was more competent, more professional, knew anything more about what they're doing than Sam Muchnick. It's been such an honor, such a pleasure working with him. We've learned more from Sam probably than we both did combined in our 8 years of college. And tonight is Sam Muchnick night. That's what the sign says, and I think that's all we can say is God bless you, Sam, and we wish the best to you.
Thank you very much.
We also forgot one thing to say in the ring. You know, Mel Price is here. And we said he had a little dedication coming here special just from Washington. He's got another big trip to make Monday. But he also came here on his birthday because today is Mel Price's birthday. So, Mr. Price, I know you're out in the room somewhere. We certainly wish you happy birthday on January the 1st. You're now older than Sam Muchnick. Okay, there's one other organization that Sam belongs to, and I think he mentioned it earlier, the 1-2-3 Club. It is a collection of the finest, most dignified, most serious people you will ever meet. And certainly the most serious and the most dignified man is now the president. He retired from Hamiltonian Federal to be president of the 1-2-3 Club. And he has a special presentation for Sam Muchnick. Bob Victor. Bob?
Before I start this, Sam, I want to tell you we all love you. But all these accolades you received tonight were for a purpose. The 1-2-3 Club has no purpose, no reason, and we are just jealous of the fact that they all gave you something, so we wanted to give you something too. And this is a little plaque. It says to Sam Muchnick, who is the founder, the parliamentarian, the sports writer turned literary ghost, the secretary, the treasurer, the dictator, and the greatest humanitarian in the world. Thanks for making life more purposeful, also for turning a disorganized luncheon club into one of comradeship, conversation, celebrities, unusual characters, and lousy food. The 1-2-3 Club wouldn't be the same without you, and don't dare try to retire from us.
Only two more to bring to the microphone. I think it'll work out. We need to get Joe Garagiola up here, and Joe will make a rather special introduction of another gentleman who tonight served as a special referee, so he didn't get to yell at anybody too much, and that's unusual for this man. So if Joe Garagiola would come to the microphone and handle a special introduction for us, and he may say a thing or two about Sam, I think. Anything nice to say? Joe Garagiola, who came in special from Florida by way of Dallas to get here, and he's on his way to Arizona tomorrow.
Well, I don't have any ad-libs prepared, so, and I know you want to sit down and visit with everybody, and I'm just happy to be here. Sam, what can I say? I don't want to get maudlin about it. I remember at the Chase when we had the thing, Rip Hawk was my hero, and he would chase us around. I'll never forget the first night that he had a wrestler throw one at me. And we had a lot of fun doing that, and it was a real thrill to be a part of this. I'm genuinely happy that I'm here because you're such a good guy.
Well, Joe, thank you very much, but I want to reveal something. One time, Gene Kiniski, I don't know if Gene's here.
Yeah, he's combing his hair with a tire iron.
Well, Gene Kiniski was wrestling, and I'd always warned the wrestlers, don't go out of the ring and don't go after announcers. And Kiniski jumped out of the ring and ran Garagiola, who was telecasting the wrestling at the Chase, ran him down the aisle. And I was so damn mad, I got a hold of Kiniski and I said, what the hell's the matter with you? You're supposed to be dignified. You're not supposed to run after announcers, especially Joe Garagiola. He's a good friend of mine. And he bowed his head and apologized. 2 hours later, I went to the Redbird Lanes in South St. Louis, and they're both bowling.
Yeah. Kiniski's over there. Why don't he come up? Because I would... the reason I'd like to introduce him is, if a Brillo pad could talk, here's what it would sound like. Now, you football fans, I'm sure you're all footballed out, but if you ever wanted a blueprint for a blocked kick...
Take it easy.
This room's not big enough for both of us.
Joe, first of all...
Isn't that a beautiful voice, huh?
Joe, first of all, sarcasm is a very low form of wit.
I know, but you only came half equipped, so how did you know?
I'd like to ask one question.
Would you get your arm off me?
Well, stop giggling. First of all, I'd like to say this. Does anybody know what is black and blue and doesn't breathe?
Yes.
The first one that tells a Polish joke.
Joe, you guys get a pope and you go bonkers, don't you, huh? Sam had the original franchise. He didn't live up to it. And we had Italian popes for years. You guys get one guy in there and you're going to run the world, right?
Joe, the Pope, His Holiness is Catholic. Will you move on?
I'm falling in love with you.
I'd like to say something
How come I can see through you?
Some superstar. Joe earlier this evening was having his picture taken.
I can't get my arm
a lot of
around
the
you.
guests, and he was charging him $5 a copy. That shows he's really a class guy. I don't want to say something tonight.
You're stepping
We're here.
on my foot.
I know.
Would you get off if I gave you a Hershey bar?
Joe, I'd kiss you, but you'd probably giggle. Joe, move on. We got to say something. I have to get a little sentimental tonight. I sort of feel rather bad. I have two sons. One has turned professional. He graduated from college. Another is still in college in Canada. And of course, every great man in this world has always had somebody behind him. Tonight, there's a young lady who's not with us in person, but I know she's here in spirit. That's Helen Muchnick. And I miss her, and I think of her and all of Sam's friends. I realize how much an asset she has been to Sam and how much she has done for the world of professional wrestling. I only wish this lady could be with us in person. And Sam, I know you've been a super promoter, and I just want to say this. May the best things that ever happened to me in this life be the worst things that happened to you and your family. Thank you very much, folks.
My pleasure, Sam. I'm glad I was here, and that's all I can say.
Well, I can't. It's the words.
Well, there's only one guy who can leave talk anymore. And if you want to get even with Kaniski, or him, or anybody else, now's your chance. Because this is your moment at the mic, Sam. It's yours.
First place, I like to tell everybody here, this was indeed a real surprise to me. I knew there was something in the works because Larry kept on leaving at 1 o'clock and say, I've got something to do, or, and all that. And Larry did a masterful job. And as to my successor, the matchmaker, Pat O'Connor, Larry will be the general manager. He's been with me 11 years. He's been loyal, capable, and understanding. And I know the St. Louis Wrestling Club will thrive. While I'm here, I just thought I should introduce the man who will be the next president of the St. Louis Wrestling Club. A fellow that played football at Iowa. I don't know how he got in Iowa in the first place, but he went through Iowa, and he was a great football player there. I think they got beaten today. So I want you to meet the president of the St. Louis Wrestling Club as soon as I step out in the next few days, Mr. Bob Geigel.
Come on, Bob. Bob.
All I can say is thank you, and I was president of the National Wrestling Alliance for a year after Sam was president for 25 years, and I'm going to follow Sam in the St. Louis Wrestling Club. I hope I can last a little longer, Sam. Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Well, everybody here, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you being here. Like I said, it was indeed a surprise. I knew something was in the wind because Larry said, we want you to say a few words. But all of my dear friends are here. And I don't think we missed anybody I can think of. And thanks from the bottom of my heart. I will be around. I'm still going to bring in the Harlem Globetrotters every year. And I'll be around giving what advice that I can give to the new owners. I accumulated quite a bit of knowledge in professional wrestling in the 49 years that I've actually been in it, 36 years of my own. And again, only thing I can say, thanks from the bottom of my heart.
Sam Muchnick. There's plenty of food, bars open. Have a good time. Thank you.
Late Saturday night at 2:30 a.m. and Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Don't miss it. Wrestling at the Chase on KPLR TV, Channel 811. This is the third match of the evening. One fall with a 20-minute time limit. The referee is Lee Warren. Introducing from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, weighing 267 pounds, Bob Sweetan. And his opponent from Wellington, New Zealand, weighing 232 pounds, one of the greatest wrestlers ever to step inside the ring. For the last time, ladies and gentlemen, Pat O'Connor! seconds. Referees Lee and Ed Warren disqualified both Harley Race and David Von Erich. Therefore, the match is ruled a draw with both teams disqualified. elbow drop. The winner